Today I'm going to be teaching you how to be a mascot. My name is Alexis Rowland and I am in your speech class. So my background as a mascot, I was mascot for my high school, my junior and my senior year. I was the basketball and the football mascot and I was a lion. These are a couple of pictures of me as mascot and then the skills required that you need to have. I believe that whenever people think of mascot, they think that it is not that hard and they often underestimate it. But you do have to have a lot of skills in order to become a mascot. You need to have patience. Dealing with kids especially will be difficult at times. I love kids, but they can be annoying at times because they're pulling on your tail, they're running away from you, they're slapping you, they're tickling you. So you need to have patience, and if you don't or cannot gain the patience for the job, then I wouldn't recommend becoming a mascot. You need to be able to withstand heat. Heat is going to be the number one problem when in a mascot suit. That suit is extremely thick and hot. So whether that be having a camelback or having an ice pack vest, you need to have something to withstand from the heat. You need to be able to handle children. Like I mentioned, children can be annoying at times, but they also have the biggest joy and smile on their face whenever they come to see you. So you need to be able to talk to them without talking to them. So use any form of body language, and you need to be able to get them to have a good time. They are there to see you. So make them happy. That is your job. Your job is to have fun and let others have fun. If you are being miserable, they are miserable. You are there to provide a smile on the fans' face and children's faces. So have some fun with it. You must be able to work with others. If you cannot work with cheerleaders, band members, coaches, fans, teens, kids, then you will not be able to do what you are doing. Even though you are by yourself, technically, you are also still on a team, whether that be the cheer team. You also have to work with anybody. You are still on a team, but you are also by yourself. You must be able to dance or move your body in the slightest. You cannot talk, so any form of nonverbal communication is great if you're using body language, dance moves, any type of movement to communicate is necessary. If you have to do this for more water, if you want to dance, you need to be able to move your body. You need to enjoy what you're doing, have some fun with it. Don't overexhaust yourself. The heat is terrible in that mascot suit, so anything you can do to not overexhaust yourself. If you're jumping too much, if you're dancing too much, and you can feel that you're about to pass out or you're too hot, go to a nearby bleacher underneath and make sure no one can see you. Take off your head and cool off. You need to enjoy what you're doing, have some fun, and you need to be able to keep a secret. If you can't keep a secret, it's going to be very, very difficult to have fun with it, because if you remove the secret aspect, then they know who you are, and now you're going to be embarrassed more easily. So everyone in my high school pretty much knew that I was the mascot. It was very hard to keep it because there's only 35 in my class and we were a very, very small school. So everyone already knew. The elementary kids did not know because I specifically did not want to tell any of them. But with that being said, if I had kept the secret away from my high school, then I would have had way much more fun with it. I truly believe that if I kept it from my high school, I would have had more of an aspect of mystery and I could have done way much more with it. So you will need to be able to try out. Once you try out, and if you have any of these skills listed, and if the cheer coach finds you suitable for the job, then you will be hired and you will become mascot. So you need to prepare for each game. Once you have become mascot, you can prepare. Before each game, I would make sure that I had the choreography memorized. This honestly depends on your cheer team and your high school, but personally for mine, I had to have certain choreography while the cheerleaders had other choreography. You may be able to run with it. I did that most games. Or you may have the same choreography as the cheerleaders. It really depends on your school, but before going into each game, I would know if I was going to wing it, if I was going to do a separate choreography than the cheerleaders, or if I was going to do the same choreography. Make sure that you know what you're doing before you enter the game. I also need to make sure that my suit is washed. It is nasty if your suit is not washed because it's stinky and smelly. You don't want that. Also, make sure that your suit is air dried and not dried in the dryer. If it is dried in the dryer, it will shred to smithereens and cannot be worn again. Lastly, fill up your Camelback with water. Camelback is not necessary, but I would highly recommend it. That is going to be the only thing that will cool you off in that suit. If you wear that, or if you wear an ice pack vest, I would recommend personally the Camelback backpack just because it cools you off and provides hydration. And then if you find one that doesn't leak whenever you freeze the bag. But mine that I had would always leak whenever I freezed it, so I had to get one and not freeze it, just fill up with cold water. At any game, football or basketball, be aware of your surroundings. It is very difficult to see in that mascot costume. You have very small depth perception and you have very small eye holes to see. So you need to have friends on the cheer team or on the band that can move you if there's any inanimate objects being thrown at your face, specifically basketballs or footballs, or if anyone is running to you and they're getting tackled or about to tackle someone. You need to have someone pulling you away or telling you to move. Have some fun with it. The majority of the fans will not know who you are, so it really doesn't matter what you do. Do some fun things. Do a little dance. Have some fun. After the game, leave a couple of minutes before the game ends in order to avoid the crowds in the restrooms. It gets very, very crowded at the end of each game, and it can be very scary if you're wearing a suit and you can't see and everyone is surrounding you. So I personally would recommend going to change before the game ends. Go home and rest. You've had a very long night. You're sweaty, you're tired, take a shower, and wash the suit before the next game. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you for listening to my speech of how to be a mascot.